Hey, I'm Tiffany Blackmon with Charlotte's Major League Soccer team, and I'm joined now by Marc Nicholls, our technical director, and Dan Locke, our academy manager. Thanks for joining me, guys. Appreciate the time. And these are obviously some unique and challenging times that we are in as a country. So, Marc, I'll start with you. What is some advice that you would give to players at home that can't play right now?
Hi, Tiffany. It's a great question. Of course, the first thing to remember is to respect the rules and take care of yourself and take care of each other during this time. It's really important. I feel that we're all in this together and that we respect those rules. The next thing, especially for the young players that are watching, of course, would be to continue with your schoolwork, keep up to date with that. We feel that there is a real discipline with that also reflects on the soccer field too. So we want to make sure that the young players are still staying disciplined with their schoolwork. The other thing maybe would be to be creative, work on areas of your game from an individual perspective. That could be working on your other foot. It could be timing yourself in a technical series that you create, that you imagine. And the other thing that you could do right now actually would be to sign up and register for our website in terms of the player interest form for those players that are interested in joining our academy. So plenty to do.
Great ways to pass the time too, and also get better. And I know we're all looking forward to the Academy programming for 2020 and 2021. Dan, what age groups will you all feature?
Yeah, we're excited for it. We release information on Friday, so we're going to have specific programming for under 12s, under 13s, under 14s, and under 17s. Our full-time teams will be out under 14s and under 17s. The under 14s will primarily be made up of players born in 2007, and then with some of the best 2008 players as well. And the under 17s will be a combination of 2004s, 2005s, and some top 2006 birth years as well. Those full-time teams will train 4 times a week with us, as well as then games on the weekend. And they'll play in the USDA League and also have the opportunity to compete in the Generation Adidas Cup, which is an exclusive tournament for MLS academies. And then we'd hope to take both age groups on an international event as well, which will be, exclusive to professional academies somewhere outside of the States. For our under 12s and under 13s, we thought about doing full-time teams and we deliberated about it, but we felt for the first year it was important for us to work alongside the local clubs and kind of collaborate. So what we want to do with the under 12s and under 13s is create what we call a discovery program. So those teams will create a pool for each age group of players, and they'll train with us twice a week, and then they'd return to their parent clubs for the remainder of the week and for their games and competitions. So we felt that was a good way to start. It enables us to learn the players in the community over a prolonged period of time. And we'll also take those groups on some events as well to represent Charlotte MLS. And then finally, we're exploring some options for under 19s. We'll have some more information on that as we get closer to the summer. Obviously, with the current situation, there's been a few delays with 1 or 2 things.
Looking forward to that. And there's so much talent in Charlotte and the Carolinas as a whole. Marc, in your short time in this city, what are some of the things that you've been able to do and see?
Obviously, the states of North and South Carolina are quite vast. So we've really targeted and focused on the Charlotte area. Dan and I both came late January, mid-February time. And so we were out every weekend, Dan, myself, and Marc Simpson, our head of analytics, watching live games. Obviously, that's come to a little bit of a halt. So we've really refocused ourselves in terms of video scouting and spent an awful lot of time watching video of all of the players. We've spoken to local coaches, we've spoken to scouts. The majority of the local clubs have filled out surveys for us, which has really helped us get some insight into the person as well as the player, which of course we observe the player. So it's really get some further information about the person and their habits and how they train and behave. So we've maximized our time. Obviously, it's been cut short in terms of the live scouting, but we have been able to really make good use of this time learning about the local talent.
But that's great. You're still finding ways to get stuff done given the current landscape. And Dan, how will you go about making selections?
So after we've compiled all the video and the scouting reports and then the input we've had from the local clubs, which has been very helpful, position now, hopefully by the end of this week and moving into next week when we can start making our first wave of selections. And then after that, we'll kind of then see what we have, continue to watch more video, continue to look at the player interest forms that are sent in, recommendations from local clubs, and then probably make a second round of selections as we get into probably around May time. With a view that by July, the start of the summer, midsummer, we'll have our rosters completely selected in preparation for the season starting hopefully in August and September. It has been a good process, but also it's been delayed a little bit because of obviously the current coronavirus situation. So we've not even had the chance to get down to South Carolina yet, unfortunately. But what we have been able to do is speak to quite a few of the coaches and a couple of the clubs down there. Excuse me, a couple of clubs down there, and have some really good conversations. And so as soon as those guys get back on the field, we'll be down there as well.
You all have certainly been generating a ton of interest in the academy. Marc, what is the cost to participate in this?
Yeah, so the academy is a major investment from senior management and ownership. It's a fully funded program, which means that all of your coaching, the travel, the physical performance, medical, assistant coaching, facilities, food, everything is covered by the club, which of course is a statement regarding the community, but also from our perspective, we hope that we can get players from this community onto the first team field when we start with the MLS team in 2021.
Looking forward to that. And Dan, for you, what are some of the final steps that you're taking?
The next steps, as well as obviously the player recruitment, will be hiring of staff. So we will look to hire a head of recruitment, coaching staff, medical staff, performance staff and admin. And that'll take place over the next few months, getting all that finalised by June. So then we can, start pre-season in August with a full team behind us to support all the players. So we're excited for that. And also we've made good progress in securing a facility for training and games. So we've got a few options to look at with that and hopefully have that finalised pretty soon.
And if you're a parent or you're a player, Dan, and you want to know more information about the academy, how would you go about doing that?
Visit our website. If you go on the academy section, there is a FAQ page along with a player interest form. So fill out that form, add video if you have it as video highlights, and then that will come directly to us. So we can look at that. We can reach out if we deem the obviously the application as a strong candidate. So then we have all that information. We can reach out to you, and we'll also be submitting some things on social media in the coming weeks where players can submit some training videos, some competitions, some skill videos. So just keep an eye out for that as well.
Looking forward to seeing how the academy all comes together. Marc, Dan, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.